Hey there, Hofstra fans, and welcome inside the WB Mason Coaches Report on GoHofstra.com. I'm Julian Coulter, joined by the head coach of the Hofstra Pride Wrestling team, Rob Anspach. Coach, how's it going?
Good.
Well, preparation getting ready for the EIWA is upcoming this week. How's the week going?
Week's going well. Really concentrating on just fine-tuning everything right now, making sure the guys are healthy and really confident about stepping on the mat.
Now, the big thing, obviously, big NCAA press release, 47 automatic qualifying bids for the EIWA. What does that mean for your team?
I mean, it was one of the things why we were so excited about coming into this conference. You're going from the CAA, where I think last year we had 17 automatic qualifiers, and you're moving to 47. You're plus 30 on it. So, obviously the conference is a better conference. So we knew all the advantages going into it, and now it just 47 spots. You're looking at 97, where I think there's 7 qualifiers at that weight class, and 6 at 125. So, it allows the guys to kind of just relax a little bit more. At the CAAs, where one bad match could cost you a trip to the national tournament. Here, not so much. So you can go out there, you can be a little more relaxed, and just wrestle and worry about taking care of business instead of like, if I mess up, I'm going to not qualify, or I'm going to have to go get a that large bid or something like that. So I think it's it's just nice. It takes a little bit of the pressure off the guys, and that's about it.
Have you noticed an extra step in some of the guys that maybe in the CAA wouldn't have gotten that opportunity to maybe go to the national tournament?
Well, I don't, I think we're having a really good week of practice this week overall. I wouldn't say one guy over another, but when I'm just watching the team practice, they look sharp, they look focused, and we're really excited to see how they compete this weekend.
Now let's break it down. The guys that you know are going to give you an effort out there, guys like Luke Veit, Jamie Franco, Joe Booth at the 165. These are the guys that obviously I think you could say you got a good chance to not only place, but obviously possibly win their respective weight class. So for you, what are you looking for?
Yeah, I'm looking for those guys again to kind of lead the way, set the tone for the rest of the guys. It's nice when you have Jamie going out there, first, and I know I'll allow some of the other guys to kind of sit and watch the tournament and say, okay, we're winning these matches, and this is what's expected of us. But again, I think we wrestled the schedule that has prepared our guys for this weekend, and that's why we wrestle Oklahoma, and that's why we go to the Southern Scuffle and wrestle those types of teams, Virginia Techs, and so that when we get to our conference tournament, it's not a big deal. It's like, okay, I'm wrestling, this guy. I've seen ranked guys all year long, and I'm ready to wrestle no matter who it is, whether it's Jamie or Jelani, who's wrestling in his first conference tournament, and Frank Affronti, another redshirt freshman, wrestling in his first conference tournament. They're ready to go. They've been battle tested, so there shouldn't be any jitters or butterflies or any doubt about, am I ready for this? They're ready, and now it's just time to show it.
Now, as far as those guys who we mentioned, you mentioned some of the names right there. What do you think is going to be the biggest thing in these matches? How do you avoid losing a match by a pin late in the match, or giving up bonus points or something like that, as opposed to what you would do during a regular duel meet?
Well, I think at this point in time, you're worried about. Although it is still a team, we're there, you're really worried about yourself. This is you getting there, and if you end up holding on to a position for a little bit too long, you can't worry about that. If it's really going to matter to you getting to the next round or advancing in this tournament, you might hold on a little bit longer than you would in a dual meet. But I got to tell you, I think when you're out there wrestling, I don't know how much that stuff actually creeps in there. It happens so quickly. So, I think the biggest thing for these guys to be successful is to have that confidence when they step out there, to just know they're prepared, they did everything they could possibly do to win this match, and then just wrestle to the best of their ability.
Now, as far as obviously no match and no weight class is a gimme, but what do you think, what weight class are you most looking forward to seeing you guys go out there and get a chance to wrestle?
I think when I'm looking at the weight classes, the 41 weight class is probably one of the more intriguing ones, because you have the top 3 guys for sure, where you have Nevinger, who was a 2-time All-American, you have Durso, who was in the quarterfinals of Nationals last year, and then you have Luke Veit, who's ranked 5th through 7th in some polls. I mean, you got 3 guys there that have obviously shown at the highest levels they're capable, and you got the 3 of them going to be wrestling in some order, 1, 2, and 3, and stuff like that. So I think that's one of the more interesting weight classes from our standpoint to see what happens in the conference in general. It should be a very fun weight class, and I'm sure there's quite a few other ones where you can look at and see, like, that the top guys are really some of the best guys in the country, And so anytime you have that type of level, it always makes the weight classes in the tournament fun to watch.
Now, finally, Coach, obviously, coming into this conference, you mentioned before, you want to get those 47 automatic qualifiers, but in the CAA, you guys had won, I believe, 10 in a row or some astronomical number like that. So what do you have to do to not only get some automatic qualifiers for the individual wrestlers, but pick up that EIWA title?
Well, I think we need our guys to wrestle just really well this weekend. You know, the guys that we expect have to do what's expected of them. Luke Veit, you know, he's got to go out there and he's got to win. Joe Booth has got to go out there and win. But then what we're going to need to do to beat the guys like teams like Cornell and places ahead of Lehigh and stuff like that is, you know, the guys that have not had the seasons they wanted to, guys like Zio McGrew and Mike Hughes and Frank Affronti, they got to come up and wrestle above their seed. Well, which is not going to be anything. They're not going to be seeded. So, you know, Mike Hughes has got to find a way to place in this tournament. And Zio McGrew's got to find a way to place, and Affronti and Vic and Jelani. These guys that aren't going to be seeded, they got to find a way to win some matches and get on that podium. And, you know, hopefully if they do that, they can get into the national tournament. But we're, at the very least, they're going to help us try and, you know, win an EIWA title or at least finish in the top 2.
Coach, thanks so much for the time and best of luck this week. Remember, Hofstra fans, you can tune into the W.E. Mason Coaches Report each and every week here on GoHofstra.com.